Good morning. So we've been on a bit of a mixed bag of stuff this morning, getting stuff ready to be able to do this front side roof. Some of the bricks on the side needed trimming, we needed a batten put in so that we can attach the tile battens. So now we need to get the tile battens on. Also lime washed the purlin, or one of them, because I could reach it from the ladder. That just gives the end a bit of protection. Obviously when it's all finished and outside rendered, that's not going to be external. It won't be kind of getting weathered on that end because it'll be rendered over. That lime wash kind of just gives it a bit of protection. It'll get a bunch more coats on that end. What it also does is hopefully stop it drying out so quickly, so then we don't get as many splits in the log. Put some tile battens on there.
Batties.
Oh, we had to measure them first. Oh no, we need to put the top.
Put this on first to the top, and then we measure from the top to the bottom, and then start measuring lots of things.
Okay, let's put them on it.
Oh!
This blue tape situation is because yesterday I slipped and dropped some tiles on this and it ripped through 4 layers. It went through 2 layers of foil and 2 layers of plastic and into the insulation. So I had to cut this whole section out and then re-layer it with plastic and foil.
But nobody wants to see that, so I didn't film it.
It was not very interesting or fun. Happy with that overhang?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll be a bit more like that.
Very good.
Yeah. Right, I'm in back up. Yeah.
I'm gonna hand.
Yeah. Move them on to the end one. Okay. Go the other way. We'll write it on the bottom.
We'll write it on the bottom. Good.
Yeah, I'm on. $45 and a half.
Awesome.
Nope. Six. That means a minimum of 6, 9, 2, 1, 0, 3.
What?
Yeah? Is that right? Supposed to be there. Let's build a roof.
Tent number 4 on this side.
So it's been a few days since we've done any work on the roof because there's been quite a lot of rain. And in the last day we were working on the roof, it took us about 4 attempts to try and get the tile batten spacing correct. We got it wrong, took them off, put them back on, took them off. Absolute disaster. So we kind of just left it, but we're coming back to it today, and we've figured out that this side of the roof is just a lot different to the other side, and the overlap that is available in the new tiles that we've got is a lot narrower range than with the older tiles. With the older tiles we had between about 35 and 80 mil of overlap for the tiles to sit nicely together, which across the varying shape of roof actually worked because all the rows would sit within that. Whereas on these ones we've got between sort of 55 and 80 mil, which is a lot narrower, and because of the distance and the shape of the roof, all of the tiles don't fit correctly within that overlap until the last row. So what we're going to have is an even spacing the whole way down the roof until we get to the last overlap with the overhang tiles. So the overhang tiles will have a little bit more overlap on them than the others, which is fine because by the time they get down to that bit of the roof, most of the water should be running off nicely anyway, and the fact that there's more overlap should be fine. We're also going to have a go at trying to shape some of the tiles in so they sit nicely. It'll all make sense once you actually get to it. It's quite hard to describe.
I'm very confused, but I trust you.
Put some bats on.
Bats! Like Barry. Or different kind of bats.
Different kind of bats. So after a number of stoppages, lots of maths, and more battens put on and then taken off and put on in the wrong place, we've now worked out the spacing correctly, and we've put the first 3 rows on and they work and they fit, and the spacing is the same the whole way up, so now they should all work. It is a slightly unorthodox way of doing this edge in the way that it will eventually look, because there'll be a really big overlap of tile on the bottom. But it will actually look good and everything will be in straight lines, which is the important bit, because we wanted to avoid having to cut any tiles, because doing that and making it look tidy is actually very, very difficult to do. just as some more rain starts to come in, all the battens are on and finished, which is great. So now we are ready to start getting the tiles on. However, I don't think that's going to be today. So the way we have the order we have to put them on so that we don't spend too much time walking on the fresh tiles with the risk of breaking them is we have to start in this bottom right hand corner, work our way from there up the right hand side and seal that edge as we go. So the tile gets mortared in, and then the cement mortar over the top, the waterproof mortar, which kind of creates that flashing on that side, and we do that all the way up the right hand side. Then we lay the tiles across up to this edge, and then what we're going to need to do for these edge ones is get the scaffold set up on the outside and then set the tiles in from the bottom upwards, because these edge tiles will get cut and mortared in as well. Yeah. finally stopped raining, so we can put a roof on.
And the sun's coming out.
No, it's
so
actually
I
really.
can take off one of my 3 layers.
The last few days have been very wet, so we've been not able to do any roofing. But today's dry, so we've started with putting some tiles on. Well, because that's all that's left to do, actually. When you say it like that, it doesn't really sound like much, but we've made a good start. So last time we were roofing, whatever day it was, a couple of days ago, kind of explained this, but obviously it didn't really make sense when you explain it without seeing it. So this bottom row is the overhang tiles. So these go parallel with this wall the whole way along. Then this next row of tiles is the only way we can make these tiles work with the correct overlap on the rest of the tiles, is with a massive overlap on this side, but as it gets across here to this other side, there'll be much less, much more of a normal sized overlap, but still more than you need. The reason we've done it this way rather than kind of cutting tiles and mortaring them on is because it just seemed very difficult to be able to get a nice clean cut line all the way and it look tidy, whereas if we just use full tiles, they'll all be square to each other. This row and this row won't be square, but this row with the rest of the roof will be square, so this row will sit nicely with the overhang, so it won't look weird when we have a gutter on here. So we had a little break for lunch and we've been motoring on with these front 2 rows of tiles.
Cooking with gas.
We are halfway, or just over halfway actually, we've got less than half to do. This bottom row is mortared and expanding adhesive in place, because that actually will stick to the foil. The top row is then mortared on top of that bottom row, so that will all hold in place. These ones are also screwed in, and you can start to see what I mean by the angle, where these ones are parallel to this wall and the ones above have got this angle, because this wall is not parallel to the peak of the roof.